So let's say that we get through the next year and a half and Donald Trump doesn't launch some sort of preemptive nuclear strike. Presumably he'll be replaced by one of the candidates that we've been watching campaigning across the country. As you've been watching them, have any stood out as seeming to take this issue most seriously, be most willing to actually do something about nuclear disarmament?
Well, we have seen some candidates take clear stances. So one of the things we've been doing is working with volunteers all across the country to actually ask candidates face to face on the campaign trail what their positions are. And we've been happy to see, that some candidates have, come out with strong positions. And people like Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden and Elizabeth Warren and Beto O'Rourke have given us clear answers on these. Other candidates we haven't really heard specifics yet. So candidates like Amy Klobuchar and Cory Booker, also Republican candidates like Bill Weld, we don't have clear positions from them yet. And so that's really something that we want to see. We want to see more of these candidates coming out with clear policies that they would support or not support around nuclear weapons.
For people who think that it's sort of an unrealistic goal to eventually have the end of nuclear arms, to get countries to actually give them up, even countries that right now have many of these sorts of weapons. What do you think about that? Is it something that should be worked on that could actually work at some point in the relatively near future?
Well, when you're talking about eliminating all nuclear weapons, of course, that is a really difficult goal. And that's probably not something that I think I will see in my lifetime, and that I think most people working on this issue would agree. I think the long-term goal of disarmament is really important. And I think in the interim, what we have to think about is reducing the role of these weapons in our government and in our military, and also steadily reducing just the number of weapons that we have. Presidents for decades have been steadily reducing these weapons. We have a strong legacy of that, and every president should be continuing that and should have a plan to keep reducing nuclear weapons, even if the very long-term goal of reducing or eliminating them completely is going to be a really challenging one. But there are steps, really important steps that we need to take in the meantime, like arms control, to make sure we're still working in that direction.
I couldn't agree more. Lily Adams of the Union of Concerned Scientists, thank you once again for joining us.
Thanks so much for having me.
For more political news, breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.